We take every opportunity to make the sign of the cross. We try to stay mindful and prayerful throughout the whole process. Kneading is very important. It's a way of reinforcing the protein matrix of the dough. And rolling actions during kneading, pressing and rolling, are very important. The rolling pin work is not essential, but I find it a very good way of reinforcing the matrix. It makes the dough very, very firm and resilient, and really makes a difference with the rise and the Prosphoro's ability to hold its shape. This layering and folding is immediately before the shaping of the dough into the prosphoro. So these are the last and most important rolls, the rolling before we shape. So we roll in one direction and then gather up the edges and roll in the opposite direction at 90 degrees. Just here. Now, so already you can see that what's rolling on the bench now will be the surface of the top surface of the prosphoro. And I'm trying to gather up all the loose edges at one end and keep the other side smooth. So there it is, the smooth side and the rough side, or the side with all the edges. Try and let the air out of any little air bubbles. The pinholes will close with some pressure of the dough on the bench, and this motion helps make that pear shape. Once you've made the pear and maybe moistened the loose edges so they stick together better, we then flatten it out, ready to be shaped, molded into the shape of the pan. So here we are, we're about to use the pan as the mold to get a really beautiful round shape to our prosphoro. Press firmly and evenly. Press the dough into the corners at the base of the prosphoro. Flatten it out, try and make it a uniform thickness. And then loosen it from its edges and invert. And there's your beautifully shaped Prosphoro. Now, rub the top surface after removing any more air bubbles. And rub until we get a glassy sheen. Giving the circumference of the shaped dough a little bit of reinforcing with some extra flour helps minimize tears around the edges of the Prosphoro after bake or during or after baking. So just a bit of flour on the edges, rubbed in. Here we are, rubbing it in. Try not to get too much flour on the top surface. Brush off the top. And the Prosphoro is just about ready to rest for 10 or 15 minutes, covered with plastic or a damp towel before stamping.